Hello, everybody, and Declan Murphy here from Camlough, covering the news for the Camlough and Bessbrook and Area. So tonight we're going to start off with just a wee interesting fact that I noticed on Facebook was Creve Rua, the local hurling club, and there's the ad more good luck to all of their players. Even though you've got lads from various teams, be it Carcroppin, St Michael's, Newtown, Blake, etc., all coming together from their own football clubs. They all play together for Creve Rua. So on the one hand, they're playing as a team, against other hurling teams, throughout the county, but they go their separate ways when they're playing the county football. So it's fairly interesting. You've got good comradeship there on the field for the hurling, and then their adversaries when they get onto the football pitch. So well done to Creve Rua. And the other thing is the last match that I noticed for Creve Rua was they were playing down in Shane O'Neill's, playing a Portadown team, St Malachy's, and it was a good win for Creve Rua at that particular match. Then on to Carcroppin, and that was the match there on Sunday. Obviously, it was a quarter final of the championship, and this was again, Carcroppin had a fairly good game. They had a bit of a comeback in the second half. I think they were winning by half time. Then the other team, St Paul's Lurgan, they obviously got the upper hand, in the first part of the second half. But Carcroppin made a valiant, comeback. I think it was 8 points in a row they got, but unfortunately, on the day they were just pipped at the post. So it was a win to St Paul's from Lurgan. Fairly tough team. The under-17s, unfortunately, they didn't, have any success either. Again, they were playing an absolutely brilliant team who won, Clan Gales, who won the 2019, or were sorry, they were finalists for the Ulster 2019 championship. So it was a tough team, but again, it was a good game, and as the old saying is, better luck next time. The under-15s had much better luck. Their game was against Drummond, and they had an absolutely brilliant win. Drummond 2 goals and 4 points, with Carcroppin 5 goals and 11 points. So it'll be interesting to see how those two teams develop as the years go by. They're young at the minute, but they've plenty of years ahead of them to develop their skills and their stamina and their strength. So fair play to all the lads playing for Carcroppin. Move on to the Shane O'Neill's. As you can see, that's the lottery numbers for this week, and nobody has won the jackpots. It's up now at 5,950. So, as the old saying is, if you're not in, you can't win. So, contact any of the club members, any of the team members, and you'll be able to get your tickets. And obviously, it's money going to a good cause. So the Shanes, the under-17s, they defeated Tullysaran last night in the championship match. I'm not too sure if you've got a picture there, Cahill. And that was the under-17 lads. So a good win for them. Fair play. Well deserved. And then the under-16 girls, they defeated the Middletown team. So again, another good night for the Shane O'Neills. I think that was the semi-final of the championship that they were in. And the senior ladies had a win over Drama Hill on Saturday night. Again, the senior ladies, an absolutely brilliant team. So that's with the Gaelic at the minute. Obviously, people are out and about and doing the training and playing the matches, and it's great to see that. And obviously, they're being careful as well and taking all the safety measures, because as people know, COVID is still with us, and we just couldn't be careful enough. Just a wee bit of congratulations to Camlough Rovers. They have put an application in for planning to the planning services, for a new pitch and for lighting and stuff like that. And their application, even though it took a while, it was successful. So fair play to Camlough Rovers. The next step for the project will be to acquire funding. So hopefully that will happen sometime soon. It's just a matter of everybody sitting down and getting their heads together and seeing how you can attract funding for that particular project. But it's shovel ready. They've done all the groundwork. They have their planning application approved, and it's just a matter now of getting the funding, and then you're ready to go. Unfortunately, and this is just a wee fly tipping issue that I came across this morning. This is rubbish that was dumped just off the Green Road. If you're heading into Bessbrook, it's just on your left-hand side, just as you passed Dobson's Way. And it must be about 15 bags of rubbish. And you can see just at the bottom of the picture, there's a child's buggy. Now, this is rubbish that very easily could have been left up to the recycling centre in Camlough. And the fact that it's not open on a Saturday is absolutely no excuse. This obviously wasn't transported in a car. It looks like the amount of rubbish that's there would suggest that it came in a van, and somebody just slammed on the brakes in the middle of the night and decided to dump their rubbish on everybody else's doorstep. Now, I've been in contact with the council. It's either going to be cleared today or it'll be cleared tomorrow morning. They are also sending enforcement out. They will go through each bag to see if they can come across an envelope with a name and address on it. And if they do, they'll be rapping doors, and there'll be a hefty fine for whoever is responsible for that bit of, it's an environmental crime. So please just appeal to people, don't be dumping your rubbish. There are recycling centres, there are bins you can flip and put your rubbish into. I don't know how anybody would accumulate so much rubbish. It's certainly not just your fortnightly amount of rubbish coming from a household. But the thing about it is, if anybody knows anything about it, if anybody witnessed the van or the vehicle that dumped this, will you please get in contact with me? Because these people have to be closed down. The next issue I'd like to mention, and again, it's sticking to the Bessbrook area. Now, this is a bit of good news, because anybody that lives on the Millvale Road or just off it, or anybody that uses it heading towards, Mount Norris or Bessbrook, know that the road is in fairly poor nick. So there is going to be a complete resurfacing of the road. Unfortunately, when you resurface, you have to close it down to traffic. So there is going to be a major inconvenience, for people using this road. Now, people live along the roads, be it in Archdale or Wilton Grove, any of those estates. They obviously will have to be given access to their house. So hopefully they'll be the only people that will be bothered to, use the road. Anybody else, if you can avoid it, please do avoid it. It'll save yourself a lot of time, and it saves a major inconvenience to the people that are working on it, putting the tarmac down. And, the quicker they get it done, I see they've given themselves 7 weeks there. So the quicker they get it done, obviously the better for everybody. Another wee story I'd like to, this happened a couple of weeks ago, and it's Caroline McAteer, lives over in Fallacullen Park. I'm not too sure, Cahill, if you've got the picture. It's that says Caroline. Obviously, they're Carracroppin club members, and I presume the kids play for the club. But anyhow, Caroline, good news. She was in the Armagh GA lottery, and she won the £10,000. This is just a few weeks ago. Absolutely fantastic. Couldn't go to a better person. In fact, the day that she won it, she was helping us. I think it was our final day of delivering the food parcels on behalf of the council. And not only did she come back for a second run to do herself, but she also helped others, load their cars and vans up as well. So it couldn't go, this is somebody that goes out of their way to help others and just got a bit of good luck on that particular day. As I say, it couldn't go to a better person. So I'd like to now go on to, it's a wedding anniversary. And a very good friend of mine, both are good friends. This is Brian Gallagher and Bernie Gallagher. So married 35 years, and Bernie, you deserve a medal. But Brian, there's a wee bit of a resemblance there to Santa Claus. I'm not too sure how, but maybe I don't want to sort of let the cat out of the bag for any of the younger kids around the village. But Brian is somebody that does an awful lot for the community. He's certainly a character. And Bernie does an awful lot for the community by putting up with them. So happy wedding anniversary, and fair play to you both. And unfortunately, just a wee bit of sad news, the last story I have tonight, and this is about the death of a very good friend, Tommy Moan. Tommy Moan, a high street man. He was born in Clough, spent his first 2 years in Clough, and then the family moved to High Street. He reared his own, that was McGinn Park initially. He reared his own family in Acorn Hill, and 3 sons and 2 daughters. And then Tommy, in fact, it was just this year, they moved to McGinn Park. He was only 60 there in March, and had a bit of a party. It was just before the COVID kicked in, so a bit of a party in the town for Tommy. And unfortunately, it was cancer that beat him. And but he had a good send off from all his family and friends and his comrades just last week. So again, sorry for your loss to the family. And Tommy was such a character and such a credit to his area. He was a guy that never went past your door without stopping to talk or to do people a turn. So it's people like that you really, really will miss. So Cahill and Destination Uri, that's more or less as much as I have for this week. I have a few other bits and pieces that I'd like to discuss probably in more detail, but I'll wait till next week. It's a wee history project that Camlough is doing in conjunction with some people in Uri. It's to do with the centenary celebrations. Obviously, we will be commemorating some of the events that happened back in 1920. But I'll keep that story for next week. So once again, thanks everybody for listening in. And if you have any stories or any shout outs that you want me to give, just get in contact with me through Facebook or whatever. Okay, thanks a lot. Slán go fóill, Hawaii.